Of course. I don't suspect. I know who murdered High Chancellor Ocato. The Thalmor knew Ocato would bring the Empire's wrath upon them and crush their uprising, so they killed him before justice could be delivered. Who else would have wanted his death? He was the only one protecting the Empire, pulling it together so that it wouldn't fall into pieces. Only a true enemy of the Empire would kill an honorable man such as Ocato. Of course. After their defeat in the First Era, the Sloads were no longer the threat they were, but as a race, they endured. But this changed after they brought their last plague on the Somerset Isle. The Archons of the Thalmor were quick to react. Before the plague could spread and kill thousands, they found its source in Auradon. They tormented the Sload sorcerer, used evil, inhumane magic to devastate his mind, just for him to tell the Thalmor the secrets of Thras. A grave treatment, even to a Sload plague-bringer. No one deserves the Thalmor. I know the Sloads are vile creatures, but even so, they could have just killed him without the torments. Though it doesn't matter now. And to the next part of the event. After the Thalmor ended the plague in the Somerset Isle, they proposed to Hammerfell's leaders that they join forces to invade Thras. At that time, the Forebears and the Crowns, the two most powerful Redguard factions, were at war with each other. Yet the Sloads were a threat they could not simply ignore, for the plague has infested the people of Hammerfell as well. The Emperor was unable to send help to Hammerfell. Emperor Saturnius's attention was divided by the separatism of the Niben Bay. Crafty of them indeed. But if the Thalmor allowed the plague to spread in Hammerfell, all of Tamriel would have suffered, including the Dominion. The Eagle never does one thing without aiming for 3 objectives. In saving Hammerfell, it saves itself. The hatred is recent. Back when Hammerfell suffered from the Sload threat, the Redguards merely distrusted the Thalmor, but there was no bad blood. And, considering the Redguards didn't understand Sload magic as well as the Thalmor did, it was logical of them to join forces with the Dominion. They are the 2 most powerful factions of Hammerfell. They have been at each other's throats since the First Era. After the Great War, the Crowns joined Aurelius's rebellion, while the Forebears stayed to fight the Thalmor. When the rebellion failed, the Crowns returned home, and what awaited them were accusations of treason and desertion. But after a series of events, the Forebears eventually dissolved, and the Crowns retook control of Hammerfell. From the ashes of the Forebears, birthed a new extremist group that is called the Alakir Warrior. Yes. The Sloads miscalculated the power of the Thalmor. Being so distant from the rest of the world, they did not realize the High Elves have changed. Wielding magic even the Sloads could not imagine, the Thalmor High Mages slaughtered the Thracian plague emissaries, removing the infestation. The Battle of Hammerfell was short. Within a month, the fleet of the Dominion and Hammerfell sailed to the sea above Thras, the Sloads' homeland. It was a massacre. The Thalmor, with their immensely powerful magic, bombarded the underwater nation of Thras, turning it into literal ashes. The Sloads tried to escape to safety, but the Thalmor would not let them. One by one, they butchered these Sloads like pigs. And if that was not enough, the Thalmor even proceeded to find the remaining Sload nests, crushed their eggs, murdered their infants. None of that was necessary to secure the Thalmor's victory. They've already won. What they wanted was genocide. That was a fight without honor. Perhaps we're both naive fools to the rest of the world then.